On today's segment, I explain to you the difference between autopsy report and post-mortem report. At first glance, autopsy and post-mortem seem interchangeable. However, within professional medical practice, intent and scope distinguish them. Ready to find out the difference? Let's get started. Autopsy, this is the medical examination of a dead body carried out by a qualified pathologist to determine the cause of death. It involves inspecting organs, tissues, and sometimes laboratory tests. Autopsies may be classified according to intent and investigative approach. There are 6 types of autopsies recognized in the medical literature, namely forensic autopsy, which is ordered by legal authorities for deaths involving crime, accident, or suspicion. Pathological autopsy, conducted with the family consent for research or teaching to evaluate disease mechanisms. Anatomical autopsy, which is performed for educational dissection in medical institutions. Verbal autopsy, which relies on interviews and available records when direct examination is not possible, used in population health surveys. Virtual autopsy uses imaging technologies such as CT or MRI for non-invasive internal visualization. Psychological autopsy, which is analytical evaluation of mental health status prior to suicide or unexplained death. On the other hand, post-mortem report is the official written document that contains the findings and conclusions from an autopsy report. It answers the critical questions like, what caused the death? Was it natural, accidental, or unlawful? Was there any foul play? In criminal cases, the autopsy is the process, but the post-mortem report is the evidence presented in the court of law. In law, if the report lacks the necessary threshold, then the case becomes weak. In the medical profession, they refer the autopsy as the investigation and the post-mortem report as the final report card submitted to the court to enable judges determine the case conclusively. In law, they insist you cannot have a valid post-mortem report without an autopsy, but an autopsy without proper documentation can be useless in law. Judges and magistrates argue it is often difficult to prove offense of murder without an autopsy report conducted and a post-mortem report issued. That has been the explainer from the corridors of medical field, breaking down the difference between autopsy report and post-mortem report, and this is Newsnight at 9 p.m. and I'm Kagunda Kelvin.